Hi everyone, and welcome to the Texas Water Development Board's latest water and weather report. I'm Dr. Mark Wenzel, a hydrologist in the Surface Water Division here at the agency, and today we're going to take a look at conditions for our state at the end of July 2020. This time of year it's plenty warm outside, so this month I'm coming to you from the air-conditioned comfort inside my home. July rainfall was highly variable across the state. This map shows that rainfall as a percentage of normal for the month. Orange and red areas received half or less of their normal precipitation. Green and blue areas got more than normal rainfall. Areas of the state that received well above average rainfall in July included South Texas, battered by Hurricane Hanna, areas that benefited from scattered thunderstorms, and the northern tip of the Panhandle that benefited from monsoon flow from the Pacific. Much of west and central Texas, however, received less than half of normal precipitation. As a result, the U.S. Drought Monitor map for conditions as of July 28th shows a few changes from the end of last month. At the end of June, drought covered 28% of the state, predominantly in the Panhandle and west and central Texas. At the end of July, drought has contracted from the northern tip of the Panhandle, but has continued to expand and intensify in west and central Texas. Overall, 34% of the state is now in drought, up 6 percentage points from the end of June. Statewide, our surface water supplies are pretty much what we would expect for this time of year, as shown in this chart. The dark line shows how storage this year compares to minimum, maximum, and median values for the day of the year from data going back to 1990. Also displayed are lighter lines that show how we did in 2019 and 18. We began July at 85.6% of capacity, right about normal for the time of year. As we ended July, storage was at 83.6%, which is still right about normal for the time of year. We can expect similar monthly decreases in statewide storage for the next 2 months as we get through another Texas summer. What else can we expect? The latest seasonal drought outlook from the National Weather Service for conditions through the end of October anticipates continued drought development across central and west Texas and the Panhandle, and no improvement in areas currently impacted by drought. This outlook was released on July 16th. Since then, we've had enough rainfall in the northern tip of the Texas Panhandle to get some of that area completely out of drought. That was an unexpected but pleasant surprise. Unfortunately, this forecast is telling us we shouldn't expect many more pleasant surprises, at least not until well into the fall. That concludes our water and weather report. In summary, July rainfall was highly variable across the state. At the end of July, moderate or worse drought is impacting 34% of the state, up from 28% at the end of June. As we enter the second half of the Texas summer, our surface water supplies are about average for this time of year. Going forward, drought conditions are expected to persist and expand in the Panhandle and central and west Texas through the end of October. Thanks for viewing, and until next time, I hope you all stay healthy and safe.